The year 2077. Only 2 people remain on Earth, repair technician Jack Harper and his operations partner, Victoria. 50 years ago, aliens attacked the planet, first destroying the moon. Without its satellite, Earth was thrown into chaos. Earthquakes and tsunamis wiped out entire cities. Humanity fought back with nuclear weapons, winning the war but rendering the planet uninhabitable. The survivors relocated to the space station, Tet, and began colonizing Titan, Saturn's moon. Now, Earth is home only to massive ocean water processing stations that generate fusion energy. These stations are constantly under attack by the remnants of the alien invaders, known as scavs. Armed drones protect the facilities, and Jack, call sign Tech-49, is responsible for their maintenance. Meanwhile, Victoria monitors the situation and maintains contact with their mission commander, Sally, who oversees operations from Tet. Jack and Victoria's mission is set to end in just 2 weeks, after which they'll depart for Titan. Their memories were wiped 5 years ago to prevent any security leaks. But every night, Jack dreams of the same mysterious woman in pre-war New York City. On a routine mission to repair a downed drone, Jack tracks it to the ruins of a stadium, only to find its fuel cell missing. As he installs a replacement, a hidden scav watches him from the shadows. The drone struggles to start, but Jack finds an unconventional solution. He uses a piece of chewing gum to fix a connection, and the drone boots up. Recognizing Jack as an ally, it flies away. Tracking a second drone, Jack rides his motorcycle to a canyon, once again being watched by a lurking scav. Descending into an abandoned library, he expects to find the drone but instead discovers a transmission relay. It's a trap. The scavs ambush him, attempting to take him alive. Jack fights back and manages to escape, but as he climbs out, his rope snaps, sending him plummeting down. A security drone arrives just in time to rescue him. Before leaving, Jack takes a book of ancient Roman poetry from the ruins. Back at the tower, Jack gifts Victoria a small pot of green grass he found during his mission. Without hesitation, she throws it away, reminding him that contact with Earth's flora is strictly prohibited due to possible contamination. Over dinner, Jack shares an observation. The scavs weren't trying to kill him, they wanted him alive. He's troubled by this, but Victoria quickly changes the subject. The next morning, one of the hydropower platforms is destroyed in an explosion. Jack investigates and picks up a strange signal transmitting into space. Victoria identifies the source. It's coming from the ruins of the Empire State Building. Jack arrives at the building and discovers a relay device broadcasting the encrypted signal to an empty sector designated as Zone 17. Disregarding orders, he deactivates the device and secretly flies past the radiation zone boundary, avoiding Victoria's surveillance. He arrives at his hidden retreat by a lake, filled with relics of a forgotten world. Here, he places the poetry book among his treasures and allows himself a moment of peace, as if the apocalypse had never happened. As he drifts off to sleep by the lake, he dreams once more of the mysterious woman. Suddenly, a NASA spacecraft plummets from the sky, crashing directly in Sector 17, the exact coordinates the relay had been transmitting to. Victoria receives urgent orders from Sally to recall Jack immediately, but he ignores the command and rushes to the crash site. There, he finds cryopods containing humans. One of them is the woman from his dreams. Before he can process it, an arriving drone opens fire, destroying the pods and killing the survivors. As the drone scans the woman's pod, Jack shields her from its sensors, saving her life. When she wakes up, the woman introduces herself as Julia, and to Jack's shock, she calls him by name. She has been in cryosleep for 60 years. Devastated by the loss of her crew, she insists on retrieving the ship's flight recorder to learn what happened. Victoria is adamantly against it, but Jack agrees to help. They locate the recorder, but the scavs ambush them. Jack manages to trigger his shuttle's autopilot to return to base before he is knocked unconscious. Victoria hides the incident from Sally, reporting only a brief communication loss. Jack and Julia wake up as prisoners of the scavs, led by Malcolm Beach. But Beach reveals the truth. Scavs aren't aliens. They're human survivors, and the drones are programmed to exterminate them. Jack refuses to believe it, but doubt creeps in. Beach explains that the signal was a trap, meant to lure the Odyssey's nuclear reactor to Earth so they could build a bomb. They need Jack to reprogram a drone and send it to destroy Tet. He refuses, until Beach lets him go and tells him he'll find the truth in the radiation zone. Jack and Julia travel to the ruins of the Empire State Building, where Jack calls Victoria for extraction. As they wait, Julia finally tells him everything. The Odyssey's original mission was to explore Titan, but 6 weeks before launch, they were rerouted to investigate an unknown object. That object was Tet, the very station that now commands Jack and Victoria. And Julia is his wife. Jack suddenly remembers proposing to her, right here, on this very observation deck. Julia shows him her wedding ring, the same one he gave her. The memories hit him like a wave. Overwhelmed, he embraces her. Watching through the shuttle cameras, Victoria is devastated. When Jack and Julia return to the base, Victoria, filled with jealousy and betrayal, refuses to let them in. She reports Jack's actions to Sally. Suddenly, an inactive drone on the station powers up and attacks. Victoria is killed. At the last moment, Julia destroys the drone using the shuttle's weapons, saving Jack. Sally, now aware of Julia's presence, invites Jack and his new partner to Tet for reassignment, because they make an effective team. Ignoring the order, Jack and Julia flee, but soon they're pursued by drones. In a fierce battle, their shuttle takes heavy damage and crashes in the Forbidden Zone. There, Jack comes face to face with himself. Tech 52. A brutal fight ensues. Jack wins, but Julia is shot in the crossfire. Desperate to save her, he takes Tech 52's ship and flies to its station, an exact replica of his own. There, he meets another Victoria, who instantly mistakes him for her Jack. He takes a medical kit and heals Julia. Jack brings Julia to his secret hideaway by the lake, where she finally recovers. She remembers how Jack once dreamed of building a home in the forest. But Jack confesses, the man she remembers isn't him. Yet, in all the years he can recall, he has always loved her. Julia smiles, because those memories belong to both of them. They share a deep, knowing kiss. The next morning, Jack admits he wishes they could stay forever, but he knows people need his help. Julia makes him promise that after everything, they'll return to the cabin. At the survivors' camp, Beach tells Jack about the invasion. He describes the day Tet arrived and how he watched the moon explode. Chaos followed, earthquakes, famine, devastation. Then came the ships, filled with thousands of clones of Jack Harper. But Beach saw something different in this Jack. He read a book, he saved Julia. That meant hope wasn't lost. As they prepare their attack, Tet sends drones to wipe them out. The battle is fierce. The hacked drone fails, and Beach is mortally wounded. With no other choice, Jack decides to deliver the bomb himself. Knowing Tet expects him to bring Julia, he places her in a cryopod along with the bomb and sets course for Tet. During the flight, Jack plays the recording from the Odyssey's flight recorder, and his memories start to come back. He was the ship's captain, Victoria was his co-pilot, and Julia, his wife, was in cryosleep in the habitation module. Meanwhile, Sally had been overseeing the mission from the flight control center on Earth. The Odyssey was originally meant to explore Titan, but it was redirected toward a mysterious object that would later be known as Tet. As the ship approached, it was caught in the object's immense gravitational pull. In a desperate attempt to save his crew, Jack detached the habitation module, leaving it in Earth's orbit. As he nears Tet, Jack informs Sally, who is nothing more than an AI projection, created by an alien intelligence using recorded video transmissions, that he has completed his mission and brought Julia. Inside the station, Jack is horrified to discover hundreds of capsules containing clones of himself and Victoria. At the core of Tet, he sees the entity that serves as its intelligence. He opens the cryo capsule, but instead of Julia, Malcolm Beach is inside. Meanwhile, Julia wakes up in Jack's cabin by the lake. Before activating the bomb, Jack recites a passage from the book of poetry he found. No death is nobler than the one you are prepared to take. For the bones of your ancestors, for the temple of your gods. Together, Jack and Malcolm detonate the bomb. A massive explosion engulfs Tet. Back on Earth, the drones shut down, severed from their command source. 3 years later, Julia lives in the lakeside cabin with her young daughter, enjoying a peaceful life. One day, a group of survivors emerges from the woods, and among them is Technician 52. He has spent all this time searching for this place, knowing it had to exist. Because no matter what call sign he was given, he is Jack Harper.